First fight was September 25th. Came out with a unanimous decision, 4-round win. Second fight was December 11th, I believe. 59-second TKO. So,
oh man,
2 easy ones right off the top.
Boy got the golden gloves.
Yeah, man. Going for 3-0, March 12th. So,
okay.
God willing, we'll get there safe.
Yes, sir.
Well, my name is Fernando Trujillo, and I'm a boxing coach here at TMB. That's Team Morones Boxing. OJ Harwell. He's a recent pro. When I first got with him, he moved well, but he lacked a little bit of fluidity and his balance. We've worked on it consistently, and he's done very well. He's flourished. It's kind of beautiful to see the evolution of a fighter, especially when you see their movements are kind of crude, just non-rhythmic. It didn't flow, to him moving with fluidity. Also to see when a fighter finally learns to relax in the ring, when they're comfortable in battle. It's beautiful to see that. Once I saw that in him, I knew he was going to be successful. He had lost that inherent fear, and he started to move with grace. He learned how to balance himself. He's become, a pretty all-around fighter.
If anybody was looking to get to know me, anybody that does know me can tell you that I'm one of the most humble dudes that you'll ever meet. I'm one of the most influential dudes you'll ever meet. I always look to keep my circle pretty small. But even in doing that, I try to spread love as much as I can. So to all my people that are around me, they're gonna feel that love. So anybody who, my goal in life is to make sure that whoever speaks about me, the only thing that they can say is positive things. As far as boxing, anybody who speaks about me is gonna know that I bring it.
Yeah.
It's never an easy fight. When you fight me, you know that I'm gonna bust my ass in the gym. And there hasn't been a coach yet that hasn't told their fighters, taking a fight with me, it's gonna be tough, So, but in essence, when people talk about me, it's normally something positive and something influential.
Okay.
Pretty easygoing dude.
Well, when I met OJ, OJ's a very outgoing person, and he's very respectful. So he kind of accepted, my criticism and my training rather well. I can be a little bit rough, well, I'm a lot rough. When he didn't perform up to my expectancy, sometimes I would tell him, "What the fuck was that? Hit, God damn it, hit!" And he'd will himself into doing as I asked, as I was demanding. And it's that kind of will and determination that is making him successful.
So for most of people who don't know, I have a lung disease called cystic fibrosis. So that in its own, it's a chronic lung illness. So the basic way that I could put it is my lungs overproduce mucus. And in doing so, it causes lung infections, respiratory infections, and can lead you to hospitalizations and extreme weight loss. And so I'm really blessed to have been on the mild side of the disease. So in saying that, about 3 to 4 years ago, I was in the hospital. I had gained a lot of weight. I wasn't taking care of myself. I stopped doing my medications, and got to the point where the doctor was basically telling me that if I didn't take care of myself, I didn't really have much longer. So I fell into a lot of mental health issues. I started going through the battles of depression and suicide, and just a lot of things that were taking over mentally. And I've always had a homie of mine, Sammy Sosa, and I owe him the world, because without him I probably wouldn't be in this position. I'd gone to a bar Anytime that I went out, anybody who knows me knows that I love to party, I love to drink, I love to have a good time. So I had went to a club, and I started getting into trouble. And Sammy pulled me to the side and was like, yo man, you ever thought about just coming to the gym just to work out? Like, you get to do this without having to get in trouble. And in the moment, you know, you just wasn't trying to hear it. I was like 2 days out of the hospital, back at the club partying and not really taking care of myself again. And I prayed that night, and I just prayed for God to guide me, you know, just to help me get to the best form of me. Like, no matter what, just help me get to the best form of me, and I'll do things the right way.
Well, it's the same as what we always do. We always prepare for a grueling match. Nothing comes easy, but you always have to relax in there and just flow with your movement. Above all, you must remain calm. You have to outthink that other fighter. You have to outperform that other fighter. That's what we work on. Boxing, in this sport, that's what it takes. March 12th, I'd say yes, most definitely. The audience will get what they pay for. It's going to be a glorious battle.
Everyone talks about wanting to be in the boxing gym. Everyone talks about wanting to come out and try the gym and, yo, teach me how to punch and teach me this and that. Nobody's going to show up. So don't waste my fucking time if you're not going to come out. So I'm one of those like prideful dudes. So like, okay, you don't think that I'm going to show up? I'm going to show you. So I showed up, and Rick Morones, who is one of my coaches, even more so, he's the one who kind of runs the TMB promotions, and which is the promotion that I fight under. I'm not signed to them, but overall I train at the gym and stuff. So he took me under his wing, and I kind of talked to him a little bit about some of the battles that I had faced. He basically told me, like, do you want to compete with the amateurs, or do you want to just kind of get here just to get in shape? And I kind of didn't know, and he was like, well, when you figure it out, you let me know, because I'm not, like, don't waste my time. So I took that as another challenge. I'm like, you know what? All right, I want to compete. So in my mind, I'm thinking I only want like one amateur win. So I went from 240 pounds. I want to say I was closer to 245, 247, but I'll say 240. I went from 240 and I lost up to 70 pounds at one point. I was down to like 160, 157, around that area. I lost that from the time frame of when I started in February, and I competed in my first fight in September. So within 6 to 8 months, I had already dropped almost 70 pounds. I fought in the amateurs twice. I lost both of them. The first one I completely just got beat up. Definitely wasn't ready for it. Overall, I ended up taking that as like, you know what, I just didn't prepare hard enough. My second fight I had in Abilene, Texas, against a real tough guy, Donald Wilson. I'll never forget the dude. I ended up fighting him, and I felt that the fight was mine. The judges didn't see it that way, so I got my second loss. And immediately when I got out of the ring, I told Rick, like, fuck this amateur stuff. Like, I want to go pro. I want one pro win. I'm not stopping boxing until I get one professional win. So from that day forward, we started training. Then COVID hit. We ended up going into lockdown, kind of got out of the gym a little bit, gained a little bit of weight. He called me in the, I want to say, July, August time frame, and asked me if I wanted to just say fuck the amateurs and go pro. So I ended up without hesitation, like just telling him, yes, I want to do it. He was like, you haven't even heard who I want you to fight. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna win. It doesn't matter. So my goal going into this was just one professional win. Started training, and like I said, I zoned in, man. I hit this new level of me where I'm just like, I'm doing good in life. I'm not fucking up. I'm not doing any bad to anybody anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not partying. I'm not drinking. So I'm starting to see that, you know, eventually God answered my prayers with boxing, and yeah, that leads us to now.